Welcome back. In the last video, we implemented strafing. So now when we're running to the right relative to our aim direction, we're strafing right. And no matter which direction we're running, we're playing the correct strafing animation based on blending in the blend space using the movement offset yaw. But we saw that when we stop running, she plays the jog forward stop animation. And when we start, she plays the jog start for the forward direction. And we want to play the jog start and stop for the appropriate direction and blend to the correct direction based on the way that we start running and the way that we were running when we stopped. So let's dive in. Now, Bellica comes with animations for jog start and jog stop in different directions. Let's go to Paragon Lieutenant Bellica, Characters, Heroes, Bellica, Animations, and here in the Animations folder, let's type jog, and we should be able to find jog backward start, jog left start, and jog right start. So find jog backward start, and we're going to get our underscore game folder /character/animations. We want that one. So we're going to take jog backward start, drag it into our animations folder under character, and choose copy here. Now find jog left start, drag it in and copy here, and jog right start. Drag it in and copy here. We're going to trim these. Now go back into our animations folder. We can clear the filter here where we typed jog. And for these copies, let's change the name so that they have underscore trimmed at the end. That way we'll know that they're the trimmed versions. So we have jog backward start trimmed, we have jog left start trimmed, and we have jog right start trimmed. We're going to trim these after we implement the functionality so that we can see how it looks and tweak it as we need to. Okay, so here in the animations folder, we're going to create another blend space. This time we're going to use blend space 1D. Right click, choose animation, and blend space 1D. Choose the Bellica skeleton, and we're going to call this Jog Start Blendspace. Go ahead and open up our new blend space and click the drop down next to horizontal axis. We're going to call the axis offset yaw because we're going to use that same offset yaw value. And this is going to go from -180 to +180, just like it did in our other blend space. So now we need to add our animations. Which animations do you think we're going to add? Well, when the offset yaw is 0, we want our jog start animation. Now, we're only using our trimmed animations, so in our filters we can type trimmed and we'll see all of our trimmed animations. So we want our jog forward start trimmed. Remember, this blend space is only taking care of our jog start animations. Now, for -180 and +180, this is where we're starting to jog backward. So we want our jog backward start. So get jog backward start trimmed and drag it into the outer edges of the horizontal axis. Now, just to the right of the center, we want our jog right. So drag in jog right start trimmed, and then we're going to use jog left start trimmed for the position between the middle and the far left. Now go ahead and click save. Go ahead and close out of this, and now all that's left to do is go into our animation blueprint, and back in the ground locomotion state machine, we're going to go into the jog start state, and instead of just playing jog forward start, now we can play our jog start blend space. So drag that in, connect the pin, we can delete this jog forward start node, and for offset yaw, we just need to plug in movement offset yaw. So right click, type movement offset, and get movement offset yaw, and plug that right in. And that's it. That takes care of our jog start blend space. Go ahead and compile and save, and let's test this out. So going from just standing still to moving to the right using our D key, we're going to start jogging. And there it is, it started playing the jog right animation. Now you'll see that transitioning from jog right start to jog right, it's not that smooth. We're going to have to trim the animation a little bit. And the same goes for the jog left. We're going to need to trim it just a little bit. So let's go back into our animations folder and go into Jog Right Start Trimmed. Open that up, and we can click at the top here and scrub through our animation. Now it looks like she takes a few steps too many. Now it'll help if we take a look at our jog right animation. Jog underscore right. Let's double click on jog right from the asset browser. And we'll see how this starts. She starts, it looks like her left leg is on the ground, and she starts taking her first step with her right leg. So we'll remember that. Her left leg is on the ground. Let's go back to Jog Right Start Trimmed. As we scrub through, she takes her first step with her right, then her left, and then she's about to take her step with the right. Remember, Jog Right begins with her left leg on the ground. Let's scrub until it looks about like that. So she takes her first step, and then she takes a step with her left, and just about right there is what it looks like when she starts her jog right animation. So let's right click here and remove the frames from 23 to 65. That's the whole rest of the animation. And so now her jog start looks like this. Let's go ahead and see how this looks when we start to jog to the right. That looks a lot more smooth. And that's because as soon as she takes that one step, we end the jog right animation in roughly the same pose as the jog right animation starts. Now we need to do the same thing for jog left. So let's go ahead and open our jog left start trimmed. And just like we did with jog right, we're going to take a look at jog left. So here's the jog left animation. And we'll see that it starts off with her left leg on the ground, her right is slightly behind it like this. So back to jog left start trimmed, let's scrub through. She takes a step, she takes another step, and then just about here, her left leg is down, her right is just behind it. This is kind of what it looks like when the jog left animation starts. So we're going to stop it here and remove the end frames 32 to 75. And so now the jog left start looks like this, and it ends right here. Let's save that, click play, and start jogging to the left. That looks pretty good. Now, one thing I don't like, however, is when we start jogging to the left, we have a bit of a slide. It looks like she starts sliding before she starts moving, and that's because we should trim off a little bit from the start of jog left start trimmed. So let's scrub from the beginning to about the part where she starts moving. So it looks like these first few frames are unnecessary because this is where she starts to slide. Notice around the 8th or 9th frame, the left foot she's standing on starts moving. That's about the appropriate time to start, is when that starts moving, because we're moving the character, so it needs to look like her foot's moving. So we'll slide up to about the part where the left starts sliding across the ground here, so about right here. And we'll remove frames 0 to this frame, which is frame 9. So now our animation looks like this. Let's go ahead and come back and play and start jogging to the left. And that looks a lot better. We don't really get too much of a slide when we move to the right, but we can trim a little bit off the jog right start trimmed if we want to, but I don't think we need to. She starts moving her feet right off the bat. So I think that animation looks good, but you can tweak yours as you need to. And that's going to conclude this video. In this video, we made a blend space for the jog start animations, and we mapped that blend space to the offset yaw. And so now in our animation blueprint for the jog start state, rather than just playing the jog start for running forward, we're playing the jog start blend space, which chooses which jog start to start playing based on movement offset yaw. Now the next thing to do is to do this same thing for jog stop. We want to use the same method we used for jog start, namely create a 1D blend space, use movement offset yaw to choose which jog stop animation to play, and play that. So as a challenge to you, I want you to implement this next step. Implement playing the correct jog stop animation. Once you're done, start the next lesson and we'll go through this implementation together. But I want you to try to do it first. Okay, see you in the next video.